contained in the BBBE strategy. In 1994, the democratic government inherited an economy in deep structural crisis, trapped in a low-growth equilibrium, economic exclusion and underdevelopment. Government has, over the past 9 years, set about redressing this legacy of disempowerment and fundamentally transforming the country's political, social and economic landscape. Carte Blanche did an expose in 2001 on narrow-based BEE, which ultimately led to the enrichment of a few black individuals. Since then, broad-based BEE has been introduced to distribute the wealth across as broad a spectrum of South African society as possible. We have an exclusive expose on the key issues around BBBE. Rudia in Alberton is ready for us.
There are many forms of fronting, and you are guilty of fronting if shares are sold or given to a black partner who is unaware of his duties or rights, or even that he is a shareholder. General misrepresentation relating to turnover, management and employees, as well as an exempt micro-enterprise fraud which relates to EMEs with a turnover of less than 5 million or that are younger than 1 year and are automatically allocated level 4 status. We're in Alberton outside Aquamarine Sandblasting Services, who have found themselves in some hot water and have approached Carte Blanche to expose the auditors. This is a Level 2 compliance certificate awarded to Aquamarine Sandblasting Services by Hansi D Labour Brokers. We have with us Mr. Barr from Aquamarine, who alerted us to his fraudulent certificate.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to say that first of all, we called Carte Blanche, as soon as we found out that Hansi D Labour Brokers weren't a registered company, we realized that there was something wrong. And then when we looked over our registration forms and we saw the fact that they've said we're a fully male-owned company and actually we have got women, well then we knew there was something wrong.
There are also several other inconsistencies. Have a look here. The rating certificate refers to a transitional SMME, both words now being outdated, with SMME being replaced by QSE. There are also several spelling mistakes. You do realize that you are now disqualified, liable for fraud and complicit in the fronting operation of Hansi D Labour Brokers. You have the responsibility to report fronting to the Department of Trade and Industry on this number.
The transformation has not been broad-based and the rate of progress is too slow. Here in studio with us, heading up the BBBE task team at the Department of Trade and Industry is Mr. Emik Sham. Thank you for joining us. Emik, the policies selected to affect transformation of South Africa's labour market have been criticised as being discriminatory, ineffective and of promoting people without providing the necessary training and mentoring needed. Are we using the right tools?
Well, Derek, the key issue here is that the result of the policies in reducing the wage gap has been negligible. I believe that improved access to education will play a more significant role. It seems that employment equity policies have assisted previously disadvantaged individuals who had the necessary qualifications and already found themselves higher up on the skills ladder.
So what is the solution?
The problem lies in the uneven quality of candidates produced by our education system. We need to focus on education as an enabler to providing the marketplace with a higher quality of skilled worker than we currently been producing.
Thanks, Emik. We're off to Cox now, who's in Sandton at one of South Africa's top consulting companies.
We're here today to delve into the behavioral issues behind BBBE in South Africa. Is this causing us to have an identity crisis, given that it's changing the labour landscape in this country? I'm here at one of the top South African consulting companies to explore the effect on employees' identity and psychology, and the effect on the employer and employee relationship and their psychological contracts. I'm here today with one of the company's employees. How do you feel about the company's latest employment equity policy?
I'm supportive of it, but I do feel that my counterparts coming from previously disadvantaged backgrounds are receiving unfair advantage, even in the workplace, especially in terms of fast-tracking with their development.
And in all this, where do you actually see yourself fit?
I feel sidelined. Given that I've been overlooked for several promotions and I haven't received any proper feedback or development reasons as to why, I get left in the dark, and it appears to me as though it's not based on my competence, but simply on my colour. The mistakes of my EE counterparts are often overlooked, whereas I've been issued with counselling letters for similar mistakes that I've made. I fear for my future in this country and that it's going to affect my work performance. I don't feel engaged or appreciated here.
We've been hearing reports from the white employees in this company that your progress is being fast-tracked and errors are being overlooked. What are your thoughts on this?
Although this does happen in the business, and there are people I know who are being given preferential treatment even though they lack the requisite technical skills, I feel that this does not apply to me. I'm highly educated and I'm the most successful candidate you imagine from my year of graduate trainees.
Do you agree then with some of your white colleagues who believe that this is a reverse discrimination?
Although your allegations are somewhat true, isn't that the whole point of BEE? However, that said, the fact that we get preferential treatment does make us feel like we are incompetent and incapable of delivering without hand-holding of senior management staff.
Having seen this, Derek, I'm now left with more questions than answers. Are we headed in the right direction? Back to you.
Interesting question, Cox. Human rights activist and social commentator Rhoda Kadali perhaps sums it up best. We can't put right the results of apartheid education overnight. In her view, we need to be patient and put economic growth ahead of affirmative action until we are able to employ qualified blacks and women. She's not against transformation, but considers it a human rights violation to put incompetent people in powerful positions. Some say that at our current implementation rate, it will take 100 years to achieve equitable representation. Only time will tell. I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. This is Carte Blanche, and you have the right to see it all.